Hello and Happy New Year. I know it's been a while since I did a Darkest Dungeon video. It's because I've been doing a ton of stuff and the festive period is always very busy for a board gamer like myself. So I'm the ever excitable Adam. Welcome back to mission 8? Our 8th quest maybe? Yeah, it would be. We're on the penultimate mission before we have to go and fight off the Collector. Before we begin this, let me say thank you so much for everyone who subscribed. We got to 1K subs very recently. We're all really proud of it. We're all really happy about that. And yeah, it's thanks to you guys subbing and sharing our content, and word of mouth is fantastic. We're still a relatively small channel. You know, when you have when you see people posting about their favorite board game YouTubers, no one says me. Which is fine, but yeah, so like we're quite small, so it's nice to get some kind of recognition of getting 1,000 subs. So yeah, thank you so much for that, and please enjoy this next quest. Hopefully we'll do well. So we're back at the Hamlet. Unfortunately, I'm still trying to mess around with the camera to see which is the best kind of, what you need to see on camera for this. So any thoughts on this, guys, please let me know, because if there's a particular angle you think would work better, if there's certain things I don't really need, then I can get rid of them. For instance, I've just kind of put their kind of trinkets on their boards, just if they have them, so I save a bit of space. And I think it's quite important you can see these as well, the Hamlet skills, and also the stress levels, obviously, and everything else. So yeah, if there is anything you'd like me to see, you'd like to see more of, in any particular way, then let me know. Right, so on coming back to the Hamlet, our Hellion had a virtue, so that was our focused. And we're going to get rid of this and replace it with a positive quirk. And our quirk is Fast Healer. So whenever you heal, you get +1 per hero level. Okay, well, that's pretty handy. So she's resilient and she is a fast healer. And then let's take a look at what town event we have. Okay, so our town event card is a town fair. So we've only got 1 day, which is pretty handy because I've already put it on the 1 day track. Happiness and revelry drive the demons away, albeit only for a short while. Everybody -3 stress and +2 health per hero level. Whoa, that's pretty good. So let's get rid of the stress. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we actually have 36 gold, I think. No, 26 gold. 31 gold. We have 31 gold to spend here. And that makes me think we should probably upgrade the Abbey or the Sanitarium. But before we do that, we're going to roll to see where our caretaker friend is. 1. So he's going to the survivalist today. Today and only today. We're going to spend some money to upgrade our Sanitarium to a level 2. So that's 20 gold. Which means we only have 11 gold left. Okay, so our Hellion, we're going to upgrade our Hellion to level 3. I don't care what you say, guys. We're going there. So she's going over here. It's going to cost us 2 gold to do that. So I just put our gold up here so you can see. That's how much we've got left to play around with. It costs 4 experience points to do this. So she's got 1 experience point change. And we're going to give her the bleed out ability. So what this does, it actually damages her for 3, but it applies 3 bleed tokens. Sorry, 2 level 3 bleed tokens, and it does some damage to them as well, which is pretty great. So we're going to put that in our level 3 slot there. And oh, we've got to heal everybody. So we've got -3 stress, which we did, and we didn't heal. So it's 2 per hero level. So yeah, everyone is fully healed, which is pretty good going into the dungeon. And do you know what? We may as well level up one of the skills as well whilst we're here. So whilst we're here, oh, she doesn't have 2 experience points. That's why we can't do that, Adam. She only has 1 experience point left to spend. So our level 3 Hellion now has 24 hit points. She's resistant to being stunned as well, which is pretty great. Speed's still the same, health points obviously greater, and she's got three trinkets she can have now. I feel like out of the Plague Doctor and the Hellion, she's probably the best one to upgrade, just because she's the strongest. Also, she also has an increased dodge as well. Her dodge is 3 now. So that was her at the guild. And our Plague Doctor, what can we do for her? Well, we don't really... It's a shame he's at the survivor list, because that would have been helpful. We're going to visit the graveyard with her. And she's found powerful. At the start of your turn, on a 1 to 3, everyone gets 2 buff tokens. That's great. A Musketeer, she's going to go to the tavern. She's going to spend 1 gold to get her back to starting stress. And then that just leaves our Vestal. And our Vestal is going to head over to the Abbey. Spend 2 of those gold to remove the anemic quirk. Which means we've got 6 gold left. It's the end of the day. At the end of each day, we'll roll a dice and we'll see if our caretaker steals a trinket. So 2, so he's going to stay where he is. He doesn't manage to grab anything. And previously I had rolled a 9 to 10 to place him, and he should have gone the Nomad Wagon, but it was slightly obscured by where I'd got the my character sheets. So yeah, he should have gone there last time. But yeah, anyway, he's gone. We're going to venture into the dungeon, and today we're going to take on the Creeping Darkness. An abyssal influence is spreading among the ruins, beckoning more followers into undeath and eternal servitude. Nothing can be done unless their numbers are reduced, for the undead never tire and will never cease to threaten your very existence. Whenever an unholy monster is spawned, heroes suffer +1 stress each. You get an experience point for every 2 rooms cleared. We have 8 supplies, but because we have got the collector, it's actually only going to be 4 supplies, as stated just here. So yeah, 4 rest points, should I say. Okay, so let's see if we can defeat the Creeping Darkness in our penultimate level Act 3 adventure. Okay, so we are ready to begin our Creeping Darkness. So let's roll our provision dice. Okay, so we've got a bit of food there. Got some bandages. We can have anything there. We got 2 spades. Potion. We're going to use this to be a torch because we have 0 torches, which is not great, if I'm honest. But hey, here's what it is. We can't change the outcome of this. We are going to do a scout. So we're currently in this position here, and we're trying to clear a couple of rooms. So we either go left, right, or up. So let's have to take a look at where we can go on this one. So I'm going to go up, and we're going to try and clear out those 4 rooms. Let's just do that. Before we do that, let's scout, right? Let's do a scout. Scout's always fun. So everyone suffers 1 stress because of this, except for our Vestal, who uses her Caution Cloak. And let's reveal. So on the right, we have a dark room. Up ahead, we've got a curio room. And over here, we have a treasure room. Ooh, that treasure room is tempting. Why not? Let's go for the treasure room. You only live once. So we only roll 4 dice for this. So let's move back a little bit. And for our Hellion, we've got Hunger. We've got a Curio for the Plague Doctor. We have a Curio for the Musketeer. And nothing for our Vestals. So with a Hunger, we're going to get rid of some food. And then we'll just get rid of this blank. So our Curio for our Plague Doctor. So let's shuffle this up. Now, do we want to use our torch Yes, we're going to use our torch now. So we're going to use that torch to remove the negative status of whatever this is. We would have been immune from this. Okay, so we found an Iron Maiden. A rusty Iron Maiden stands against the wall, clapped shut. You feel tense as you try to open the devilish contraption. Alas, you pin yourself onto one of the spikes by accident. You curse your luck as you break free, feeling nauseous and sick. So we ignore all of these negative effects, which are all of them. I mean, that's awful. So I'm kind of glad we did actually use that for that. But we don't have any choice with the musketeers. So the musketeer finds a confession booth. A forsaken confession booth. It hasn't been used in years. As you step inside, you feel a faint chill followed by a painful sting. As you shake the poisonous spider off your garment, you notice some coins on the booth's floor. Okay, so we increase our stress by 1. We draw a negative perk, which is a fear of the unknown. So for any curios, we're going to have an additional stress. Yikes. We have 3 level 1 blight tokens, and we find 5 gold. Was it worth it? Who knows. So we're in a treasure room. And we have to fight some monsters. So let's shuffle this up and see where we are going for our very first battle. The Invocation Chamber. The last monster each round always moves towards that middle area there, instead of following step 3 of the monster turn. And if any monster is there at the end of the round, everyone gets +2 stress. Okay, so with the Invocation Chamber, so we have a Vestal there, we have our Musketeer over here, our Plague Doctor here, and our Hellion over here. We also have treasure chest up there, and a treasure chest down there. Simple so far. We're going to get to the enemies now though. So our first enemy is going to be a Bone Arbalist. They go towards the back. Then we have a Bone Bearer. I had trouble with them last time figuring out who they target. Then we have the Brigand Bloodletter. Okay, so let's shuffle up the initiative and see who is going first. So it's going to be us first. The Hellion. So the Hellion is a speed of 2. Should probably try and take this Bone Bearer out as quickly as possible. Or maybe even the Brigand Bloodletter. Let's go for the Brigand Bloodletter. So we're going to move 2 spaces, and then we're going to use our Iron Swan 3 ability. So it's got a dodge of 0. We need to get an 11 to do this. So we've pretty much hit this because he's got no dodge. We got 9. So we hit him. We're going to be doing 11 damage to him, and we're also going to use our Blight Charm to add 2 level 2 Blight tokens to him, and we've done 11 damage to the guy. That's quite a decent amount of damage. Okay, so who is next? I'm just going to put this over here actually. So next it's the Plague Doctor, and the Plague Doctor is powerful. So start of the turn, we're going to be rolling a dice here. So 1 to 3, everyone gets buffed by 2. And we got a 3. So everyone gets 2 buff tokens. And at this point, we then have to remove a token from the Plague Doctor. So one of those buff token comes off. The buff token gives them a +1 to their crit attacks. So the Plague Doctor, what's she want to do? Well, the Bone Bearers aren't immune to plague, so that is tempting. So yeah, we're going to move up here, and then she's going to try a Noxious Blast 2. Now the Bone Bearer has a dodge of 3. So basically we need to get 7 or less to hit. And because we've got 1 buff, we've got a crit of 2. So 1 to 2 is a critical hit, and anything else up to 7 is just going to hit and do 3 damage. Oh, 1 off getting a crit there. So there's only 3 damage to him. You know, that's all right though. It's a slow start for the Plague Doctor, but you know, it's still a start. So Bone Bearer takes 3 damage and then gets 3 level 4 Blight tokens, which, you know, that's going to help kind of take this guy out a little bit. Okay, it's the end of that goes. So then we have another hero, so the Musketeer. So she gets rid of one of her buff tokens, and also a Blight token does 1 damage to her. Shame, because these guys are all like healed up. Could have done with that before the boss battle, really. Okay, so we're going to move her over here, and she's going to try and hit this Bone Arbalist, because if we can take them out, then, well, it's just a good idea to take them out, right? So she's going to try her Sniper Shot, level 2, and if we get a crit, it's 12 damage, which should kill this straight away. We've got a 1 or a 2 is a crit, and up to 9 hits. Oh, so 8, so we hit it for 10 damage. That is pretty sweet. Right, I'm expecting the bad guys are going to go now. Yep, so the Brigand Bloodletter goes. We roll a dice to see where they're going to be going. So they're going to be doing a Rain of Whips. So go to the most crowded area. We don't have a crowded area, so my understanding is they're going to go to... Oh, we do have a crowded area, over here. So they're going to move 1 space, and then they're going to try and hit here. So let's see how they get on. So they got a 3. There's no way we have dodged that. So this is going to be doing 1 damage to both the Plague Doctor and the Hellion. He's also going to apply 3 level 1 bleed tokens, but only 2 level 1 bleed tokens for the Hellion because she's resistant to it. But yes, 3 level 1 bleed tokens to the Plague Doctor. And both the Plague Doctor and the Hellion get 1 stress each. Now, actually, looking at this, we have the On Guard positive perk for the Plague Doctor. She actually she didn't get any damage because we reduced her damage by 1. And it doesn't say in there to a minimum of 1, so I guess she's okay. Right, so that was his turn. We then get on to the Bone Bearer. So the Bone Bearer is in the range position, so we roll a dice. It's going to be doing a Wicked Surge, so it tries to get to the crowded area, which is straight in front of it, but a range of 2, so it's not going to be able to do that. It's got a speed of 2, so actually, yeah, it can't really do anything. Oh, and I'm an idiot. The Brigand Bloodletter should have got 2 damage. And the Bone Bearer activated with a 4 Blight, so they should have had 4 damage on them. Okay, next we have our Bone Arbalist. Now, according to the rules here, the last monster each round always moves towards the area in the middle of following step 3 of the monster turn. So it's going to do a coral attack, so it's going to attack the marked or furthest away, but he is going to instead move into this place here, and his target would have been, well, is up there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he still can't attack the furthest away character, but he can attack the Musketeer, so she's furthest away and she's in range of 2, so we'll do that. Why not? So he got a 5, which is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a hit. And it does 5 damage to the Musketeer. Okay, our next one, we're going to get rid of that because there should only be 3, three initiative cards for them. And then we have our Vestal. So our Vestal is going to move here for 1. And then she's going to try and do a judgment on the Bloodletter. Why not? So it's got 2 spaces away. She's got a 5, which is definitely going to hit. So it does 5 damage to the Bloodletter. So the bloodletter is currently on 18 damage. And because there's at least one monster in here, everyone takes 2 stress. Okay, so we're on to round 2. When I shuffle these things, I just try and think of anything else, so I'm not kind of focusing on where the cards are. I don't know if you guys are like that when you play these kind of games. Right, so the Bone Arbalist, sorry, the Brigand Bloodletter takes 2 damage. So they've only got 4 hit points left. And we roll the dice, see what they're going to get into. So a 9 is going to be a point blank shot. So the closest, it's going to be our girl or lady there. And we got a 4, which is definitely a hit. So that's going to do 6 damage. Push the Hellion back as well. So we're going to push around there. And it also gets 2 debuffs on himself. So he's not in a great place for next time he attacks, but he's done a good job. And he's staying in the middle, which is not a good place for us. It's now the Plague Doctor's turn. We're going to roll the dice because they're powerful and they have to roll the dice at the start of their turn. They got a 3, so yep, everyone gets 2 additional buff tokens. Okay, so the Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor is going to move 1 space back and then is going to use the Plague Grenade, which will hopefully be able to target both of these guys on that space there and give them a little damage, but a lot of blight. So she needs to get, well, let's just roll the dice and see what we get. So we got 3. We've definitely hit both these guys. So it does 2 damage to both of them. That's enough to kill the Bone Arbalist. The Bone Arbalist is Gonzo. He is no more. He's an ex-Bone Arbalist. And we get 3 level 3 blights on our man, the Bloodletter. Okay, and that's the end of... there you go. It's then on to... Oh, sorry, the Plague Doctor should have taken... Now the Hellion activates, they've got 2 stacks of buff tokens, so I believe that means they've actually got a crit, +2 to their crit value this round. We need to try and damage these guys as best as possible. So we're going to try and attack this one with a Iron Swan 3. And we got an 8. So the Banner Bearer has a dodge of 3. The accuracy is an 11. So yeah, we hit. So that's going to be doing 11 damage. And then we're going to try to do exactly the same thing again. Well, actually, I can't do that again, so I don't know why I'm saying that. So actually, I've got no ability to get to anybody from where I currently am. We've got a speed of 2, so we're going to move into this zone here. That's what we're doing instead. Right, next we have our Bone Bearer, and they're going to try and move here. They take 4 damage because of the blight on them. Which means they're on 22 damage at the moment. They've got 8 hit points left. We roll the dice, see what the Bone Bearer is going to get up to. Got a 2, so the Bone Bearer is going to do a Wicked Surge. So they're going to try and get to the most crowded area. Which, you know what, they can do all of this. So they move into there. And then they're putting a debuff on both of these guys. Both these gals, should I say. And their stress increases by 1 each. Okay, so our next one is the Musketeer. So she takes 1 blight damage. We get rid of a debuff and 2 buff tokens. So she's got 1 buff and 1 debuff. She's going to try to do a sniper shot against the Bone Bearer, which would be enough to kill it. 9. Yikes. We're going to add a +2 accuracy using the Archer's Ring. 10, 11, minus the 3 from the dodge of the Bone Bearer. So yeah, we just miss. If my maths is correct. So I'll try one more time. And we got 10, so we missed on both accounts. Right, so it's now up to our lady She's going to do a judgment 2. Yeah, we're going to have at least one person here. So she's going to try and judgment 2 against this space here. Actually 10, so I had to select who I was attacking, and I didn't say. I was aiming for the Bone Bearer, so I failed with that. I'm going to try again with the Bone Bearer. 4. So this time I definitely hit it for 5 damage, but it's still alive, causing us issues because it's the end of the round now. We've got at least one monster there, so everyone increases their stress by 2. Oh god, this is the first room as well. Okay, so let's shuffle all of these in. Bad guy's going first. So the Brigand Bloodletter activates. The 3 on here is enough to kill him. So the Brigand Bloodletter is no more. Okay, next is our Plague Doctor. She takes 1 damage from the bleed. We then roll a dice because, well, she's a powerful lady. And yeah, she's powerful. So everyone gets 2 buff tokens. Sorry, I should have waited to remove the bleed from her, because we should have done the remove tokens after we'd rolled the dice. Regardless, we are where we are now. There's only one person left. Our Plague Doctor has got a speed of 3, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to pick this up. So we're getting some coin. 20 coins. That's the best we could hope for. I'm going to need this to heal everybody up after this. Now, I'm very worried because if we get one more stress on the Plague Doctor, she's dead. Completely dead. That's her done. So I need to figure out some way to reduce her stress somehow. So we've got to camp up straight after this, or yeah, things are not going to go well for her. Okay, so next we have our Hellion. So Hellion loses 1 hit point and the last of her stacks of... She's got 1 buff stack left. So she is going to... Okay, so we're going to do a Wicked Hack. Got a 7. Accuracy is 9. They've got a +3 to their dodge, so we miss on that. We're going to try again, and we failed again. So next is our Musketeer. Musketeer gets rid of 2 buff tokens, 1 debuff token, and takes 1 damage of Blight. She's going to try and do a sniper shot. 5. That's enough to do it. We do 8 damage to the Banner Bearer, the Bone Bearer, and we've completed this particular mission. But at what cost, guys? At what cost? So we get to do camping now, and unfortunately, because of the missing supplies, we only get to do 4 actions with this. So we're going to reduce the Plague Doctor's stress by 4. But we're also going to use our Musketeer's Camper's Helmet to roll 2 white dice. So we get a food and a tool. At this point, we're also going to use this blight here, this potion, sorry, not blight. And we're going to remove an additional stress. Well, 1 stress off the Hellion. We don't want her getting an affliction, really. Yeah, so that's the end of this combat. We did poorly. So we have cleared this room. We get 20 coins for that. And before we do anything else, I'm going to use this to heal Musketeer 1 hit point of damage. So she's only got 7 damage on her now. Okay, and I'm just going to blindly walk into whatever this is. So let's roll all the dice and hope for the best. But we know we're going to get the worst. And why am I doing it like that, Adam? Right, I'm such an idiot. So this is where we are with this. I should have rolled them one at a time. Sorry, guys. So blank there, we're going to take food to get rid of the hunger. So Hellion is okay. We do have 2 stressful darknesses here. So with our stressful darknesses, we're just going to decrease the light in the dungeon by 2. Musketeer is going to take food and a curio card. So Musketeer finds a stack of books. A stack of literary treasures is an unlikely occasion filled with worry and some selfish thoughts. You're relieved to find a trinket. You rise to your feet with your confidence boosted and your morale lifted. +1 stress. Whoop. We get a negative quirk. +2 to our buff. She's well buff. And we get a trinket. Right, what negative quirk do we have first though? So we have fragile, so every time she takes a damage, she takes an additional one. And we're going to get rid of our Photomania. The level 3 trinket she gets is a Berserk Charm. Gain 1 action. She's going to give that straight to the Plague Doctor because she doesn't have any trinkets, so she needs all the help she can get. So that's that. These guys are all out of it, and it's just our Vestal with a Curio and a Trap. We're going to use the tool to get rid of the Trap, and then we're going to grab this Curio here. Alchemy table. A table filled with experimental equipment. You pick up a handful of coins thrown onto its surface, but you don't notice the sharp needle protruding from one of the alembes. Alembes? As it pierces your skin, you let out a panicked cry. +1 stress. 1 negative quirk and 3 bleed 1 tokens. But it's actually 2 because we're resistant to it, and we get 5 coins. You know what? We're doing a lot of cash this time around. 2 level 1 bleeds for our Vestal. Our negative quirk is Bad Gambler. So when we get a 10, we lose hit points per hero level. So 3 hit points. Eesh. And what did we find? Combat. And we're going into a ritual chamber. Cornered heroes ending their turn here suffer stress. Okay, so here we are in a lovely ritual chamber. I've got the map upside down just to vary things a little bit. Actually, no, I just pulled out wrong. So we've got our Bone Defender to begin with. So he's going to be up front. Next, we have a Bone Soldier. A Bone Rabble. Man, this is a very themed room. And then a Madman. Madman not being good because they are going to be bringing stress to the fray. And we can be doing without stress right now. Okay, so we don't want to be in the corners at the end of the rounds, or we're going to be taking stress. Fairly confident with all these guys. The Bone Defender takes half damage because they've got a shield. And they're all, the first 3 are immune to bleed, and the other one is just resistant to being debuffed. So our first is going to be the Bone Defender. In the front position, we roll a dice to see what they're going to get into. A 4. So they're going to try to do a dead right. Going to go to the closest character. They can't quite reach though. And the closest character is going to be the Hellion because they're in the first position. So he shuffles up there. Next, we have the Hellion. She takes 1 damage from a bleed she had, and her buff token is no longer there. And you know what? We're going to get her to run into here, and she's going to do a Barbaric Yorp. So Barbaric Yorp basically will stun them both on their turn. If I get it. 7, actually 11. So for the Bone Soldier, no dodge, so we hit that. And the Madman, dodge of 2, we still hit. So both of them are stunned. Next we have the Bone Soldier, who just removes their stun token. Then we have the Bone Rabble. In the range position, they're going to do a bump in the night. They can't quite get to anybody, so they just kind of shamble out of there. Next is the Plague Doctor. She takes 1 bleed and gets rid of a debuff token. And she is not powerful this turn, so she can't quite muster up asking people to, yeah, be powerful, I guess. Okay, so we're going to try and do a plague grenade against this tile here. So we're targeting the 2 enemies there. Let's see how she gets on. A 2. Fortunately, it's not a crit, but it definitely hits both of them. So they both take 2 damage, and they're going to be getting 3 level 3 blight tokens. Do you guys prefer if I put them on the board so you can see which ones they go with? Maybe that's a better way to do this visually for you guys. I don't know. I'm still figuring this out, how best to kind of present this. So that was the first action there. And then she's going to move down here. Okay, so next we have, it's the Musketeer. Musketeer. Musketeer has a speed of 2, which is good because we can get her through here. So I believe we can move through this even though it's full. And then she is going to shoot at the madman because I hate madmen. So she's going to do a, oh, do you know what? She's going to do a bowler attack against both those characters in there. And she got a 10, so she missed. But not on the bone soldier, unless the bowler is a... Yeah, so she hit the bone soldier for 3 damage. Man, he has 0 defense. I expected more. The bowler also pushes the enemy by 2. So they change places with the madman. And it pushes them by 1 as well. So she's pushed away 1, further away. And she also pushes the bone soldier 2 spaces. At least that's my understanding of push. So next we have our madman, no longer stunned. They take 3 damage as well. So they're halfway to death. Good. That's what we like to see with our madmen. And then our Vestal's next. So our Vestal is going to move here. And then she's going to heal the Musketeer with her Divine Grace. So we've got a 7, which is enough. So it does 7 hit points. So she's fully healed again. Okay, no one is in the corners at the start of this round, or the end of the round even, so no one is getting any negative effects from this, which is what we like to see. Unless it's bad guys getting negative effects, and then I'm all for it. But then what is a bad guy? Okay, so our initiative for this round, we're going to start with, oh, the Hellion. Okay, so the Hellion is going to do a Iron Swan 3 against this guy here. We've got a 5, so that is enough to hit. It does 11 damage. We halve that, so rounding up, I think, 6 damage. So that was successful. We're then going to try and do a Barbaric Yorp again to make the Madman miss his go. I got an 8. Barbaric Yorp is an accuracy 11. Madman has a dodge of 2. So, yep, he is stunned again. Yorp! In your face! Right, next is our Bone Defender. So, in the first position, we roll a dice to see what they're up to. They're attempting to do a dead weight. They're going in the same space as somebody, so he's just kind of limping about. He can't quite reach where he needs to get to. Next, we have, it's us, it's a Plague Doctor. Roll a dice, let's see if she is powerful enough to inspire everyone. We got a crit, so yep, everyone is inspired by a crit. Vestal should have taken 1 damage last round because she had a bleed on her. So I've just taken it off of her now. Okay, the Plague Doctor is then going to do a Plague Grenade against this guy up here. So we've got a 2. It's not enough for a crit, I'm afraid. But it does do 2 damage to, well, 1 damage, because we're rounding up here. And then it adds 3 level 3 Blight tokens to him. That was the first action. Second action, We're going to do a Noxious Blast against the Bone Rabble. So we've got a 4 there, which will do 3 damage to the Bone Rabble and 3 level 4 light tokens. Plus a debuff. So getting crits against him is easier. Now, I could actually use her Berserk Charm to get an additional action, but I don't feel like I need to. So we're going to leave her turn there. We then activate the Madman. The Madman has got a stun, so we get rid of that. Then the Madman takes 3 damage. So the Madman is now on 8 damage in total. Just needs 2 more hit points and then it's dead. Okay, next we have the Bone Rabble activates. It's got 3 damage on itself already. It takes additional 4 damage, is dead. First skelly to fall. It won't be the last. Right. Next, it is our Bone Soldier, who's now in the range position. Bone Soldier has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on it already. 6, 7, 8 is enough to kill the Bone Soldier. So, another Skelly gone. Or Skeleton. It's raining here in sunny Warsaw today, which is always fun. Okay, so it's going to be the Vestal next, right? Yep. So Vestal takes 1 damage from the bleed token on there. We get rid of one of each of these buff tokens. She's then going to try and do a judgment against our Madman. No, do you know what? When a Madman activates, they're gonna basically. Did I move the wrong character? Yikes! I did move the wrong character. These guys look very similar, so I would have had to use that +1 action to move my Plague Doctor in here. So apologies for that, guys. So yeah, Plague Doctor's in there. Vestal activates next. Sorry for that. They're very similar on here. Maybe I should do something to mark them differently with their bases, maybe? I don't know. Right. So, the Vestal. She's going to try and do a Judgment 2 against him. She's got an 8. He's got 0 of his defense, so it does 5 damage. Halved, rounded up to 3. Which is enough to kill him. And she also heals 2 hit points off of herself. And then she's going to just swap places with Musketeer because she prefers being right at the very back. Then the Musketeer activates. Then you do a sniper shot against this here. They got 4. That's enough, so it's going to do 8 damage. See you in hell, Madman. Okay, guys, so we cleared another room, which means we've done one of the things for the Creeping Darkness. We get 1 experience point each for this, and I'm going to do something controversial. You're probably going to hate me for this, guys, but you know what? I'm so worried about losing this Plague Doctor, because if I get much more stress and she's got this this virtue, then unfortunately, they're going to end poorly for her. So I'm going to call it quits. I know I've only explored a little bit of this dungeon, but I'm so close to the Collector and that particular mission that I don't want to be going in with a completely noob kind of character that I'm not familiar with playing with. So do you know what? They're cutting their losses. They're going home. So apologies that I cut this short. It is literally because I am so close to finding the Collector and I am so worried that the Plague Doctor would die with that with that virtue on them, because if their stress goes all the way up, which I didn't think it would because their stress was really low to begin with, then yeah, they dead. And backtracking, I believe, adds stress as well. So it would have been tricky, and I just didn't want to lose her. So we only get 1 experience point for this. But we did make bank. We made bank. We made a ton of cash on this mission. So I think we're going to go back to the Hamlet, and we're going to be upgrading a couple of things and spending all that money probably on getting the stress away. And I don't think I'm going to send anyone back to get a virtue because especially when there's stress involved. So next time we'll be up against the Collector themselves. Obviously I have to paint it first, which I'm really not looking forward to. Part of the reason why this video has taken so long to come out is me procrastinating, finding other board games to paint whilst I'm waiting, because I'm like, oh, I've got to go back to that. I rediscovered Shadows of Brimstone recently, so Alex and I have been going through that. So if you want to check out a different dungeon crawl game, which is set in the Weird West and is a fantastic system, a little grindy, then check out our Shadows of Brimstone videos, which are also on here. And stay tuned to the channel because we will be doing Zombicide, Undead or Alive, which is essentially zombies in the Wild West. And this is a tough game. I've covered other Zombicide games on here, Night of the Living Dead and Invader, plus the Black Ops expansion. This time I've got cowboy zombies. They've changed it so it's quite tough this time around. So I don't think I'm going to survive all 10 of those missions. I think I'll fail quite a few. And then after that, we're going to be going on to a campaign for Undead or Alive. But we will still be doing plenty of Darkest Dungeon content. I just need to paint up their collector. So if you want to see my progress there, then keep an eye on our Instagram because I'll be posting up. I always post pictures of stuff I'm painting. And I'm going to purposely leave the collector out of the box when I pack it all away now, so that he is out there staring at me, him and his little kind of collector, kind of heads on sticks, spinal columns even. So I'm going to leave those out so I know I have to paint those. And that will be done probably in the next couple of days. So stay tuned to the Instagram. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for being patient with me for the next video. If I did make any mistakes, and you know what, to be fair, I probably did because it has been a while since I played this. I played at least two other game systems since then. So it's always hard coming back into playing a game that you've been doing a campaign of. And you know what? I think this is a good video because it gives you a good idea of what it's like when you're playing this game and you take a pause and you go back to it after playing other things, what you can expect to kind of encounter. So there will be errors. Let me know in the comments below so other people can also spot them. And you get 10 points every time you do spot an error I've made. So yeah, I'll start calculating the points and we'll see what happens when we get to a certain amount of points for a certain person. So yes, please put errors below. And if you just want to just generally chat to me, you can message me on Instagram or you can put comments below and I will get back to you. Anyway, once again, thank you so much for subbing to our channel. It's fantastic that we've got 1,000 subs. Obviously, when you get to 1K subs, you monetize, which means we get like a pence off of every video, which, you know, after about 20 years, we'll still not have enough money to buy a board game. But yes, basically, any money we make from this channel, it goes into getting new board games, funding them on Kickstarter, sourcing them from eBay for things we've missed out on, or just going to a friendly local game store and picking one up in person, just so that you've got some more content to devour. Anyway, I've been the Ever Excitable Adam. Please, if you haven't subbed yet, then sub to everything you can find of ours, and please spread word about Die Rollin because, yeah, the more people who see this, yeah, the more recognition we get, and that's always lovely. It's nice being known. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Until next time, stay safe or die rolling.